What is up, guys? We have some news today. I have not done one of these videos in a very long time, but it actually seems like they're a pretty popular genre of videos for my YouTube channel, which is kind of interesting. I didn't know I had a sexy voice for you guys to enjoy. But on a serious note, I should probably get back into this because, I mean, right now there's a drought in the TCG. There's not a lot of interesting products that are out, and there does seem to be some hope out there in the horizon. And Power of the Elements might actually be a pretty good set. Not only are we going to get elemental heroes in here, some nice new Neos support, not necessarily a retrain. There is kind of like a new Neos kind of retrain, if you will, but I wouldn't consider the new cards a retrain. They are pretty interesting, but that's old news. This is new news. We have here Splight Blue, which is coming out in Power of the Elements. I guess I did not know there was a TCG announcement. It should be coming out August 5th. Probably knowing Konami is going to actually be coming out after August 5th because they've just been pushing everything back because as a company, Konami is pretty crappy. Alright, so Splight Blue. Level 2 Dark Thunder effect. Two things of note here. It is a Thunder type, not a warrior, not a dragon, and or machine. I mean, machine has also kind of been kind of over supported over the years, and it's also level 2, which is pretty interesting. Usually it's levels 1, 4, 8, 7 that get the most support, and it's also not a waifu. So I mean, we're not getting little girls again this time. Thank you, Konami. Thank you. As far as the effects, you can only special summon with the first effect of this card, and then you can only use the second effect once per turn. It's kind of weird wording. That's why I kind of skipped around here. But effect number 1: if you control a level or a rank 2, you can special summon this card from your hand. And we'll see that as a trend for these cards in this archetype. Effect number 2: if this card is special summoned, you can add one Splight Monster, so it's your searcher, from your deck to your hand, except this card, which is pretty standard, right? Usually searchers nowadays, they help you search basically everything from the archetype except itself, so you don't recurse. So it's all right. It's a searcher, but you know, or we need to see the big picture for this new archetype here. Splight Jet, which is interesting naming convention here. Konami, Blue, Jet, and Pixies. But Splight Jet, still level 2, still dark, still a thunder. Effect number 1 is the only way you can special summon this, and you can only use effect number 2. So we're going to see that pattern. I'm going to skip over that. Effect number 1, you can special summon this card from your hand if you have a level or a rank 2, just like the other card. Effect number 2, if this card is special summoned, you can add one Splight, spell, or trap from your deck to your hand. So this one will search your spells and traps. This one will search your monsters. So it does kind of suck because they're kind of splitting off the searching, but it's also not that bad since these cards special summon themselves. You don't necessarily have restrictions as of yet. Let's go on here to Splight Pixies. We're going to skip basically everything again because it's the same thing. Effect number, you can only summon this card with its own effect, and you can special summon it if you have a rank or a level 2. Second effect: if another of your level, rank, link 2 monster battles an opponent's monster, during the damage calculations you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Your battling monster gains attack and defense, which is interesting, equal to the monster's equal to your opponent's monster's current attack. So it's honest, right? It's an honest type effect, and I like that. I do like those kind of effects. If you're a hero player, you will know that honest Neos is probably like the most it's the most cheese that you're gonna get off that deck. For the most part, heroes are lactose intolerant, but you get a little bit of that cheese with honest Neos. I do like those effects, and it's pretty interesting that they put that effect on here. And of course, you know, like I said, you special summon this card again. But now we're getting into the big boy here, a rank 2, gigantic Splight. Artwork, by the way, because we are going to review that, looks fucking awesome. This, Konami, is what you should be doing instead of drawing underage girls. Moving on, 2 level 2 monsters. For this card's Xyz summon, you can treat Link 2 monsters you control as level 2, which is pretty interesting. I'm kind of curious if there's any rank 2 cards that are kind of overpowered. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any, but I'm not that good at the game, so let me know in the comments if there are any rank 2 monsters that you can abuse in this new archetype. You can only use the second effect once per turn. So, effect number 1, if this card has a fusion, synchro, Xyz, and or Link monster as material, its original attack is doubled, which is pretty cool. It's going to have a 3200 attack, and it's only attack, right? So the defense doesn't change, which is, it's alright. You know, I don't think you're going to be putting this card in defense that much. It's going to be probably your boss monster, your beater. The other thing of note is that it says fusion to synchro, Xyz, or Link, but as we're going to find out, this archetype only has Xyz and Link, not fusions and no synchro. So is there a potential like magic key, right, where they started off, I think, with fusions and synchro, or fusion and Xyz, and then they kind of added more types, extra deck type cards later on. I hope so, because this archetype does actually look pretty cool. I like the theme. It's electricity, and the fact that it's level 2 is also pretty interesting. Effect number 2, during your main phase, you can neither this is the weird one. I was reading these beforehand, and this one is worded weird, really weird. So during your main phase, neither player can special summon monsters for the rest of this turn, except, so I think it's saying that no one can summon any monster that doesn't have a level, rank, or Link rating of 2 on your main phase, which is cool. I think there are some. I think no, that not Dragon Maid, because I think that's in your battle phase. But there could be IP Masquerena, for example. Well, that's a quick effect, so you can also activate it outside your main phase. I was trying to think if this blocks your opponent in any way, or is it just restricting you? And I think it's just restricting you, which isn't that good. It says also detach 1 material from your Xyz monster, and it doesn't have to be from this monster. Also detach 1 material from your Xyz monster. Yeah, that's weird. And if you do special summon a level 2 monster from your deck, I don't know if the wording is just off, because everything just kind of looks off in that paragraph or effect. But if true, you can use another Xyz monster's material, which might be pretty busted, actually. I do like this. I don't think this is, I mean, it's a boss monster, meaning you can swing over things. It's your beater. But I don't like this effect that much, Konami. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look that good. It does summon from your deck, right? Or was it graveyard? Special summon level 2 monster from your deck. If it is from the deck, because again, that whole paragraph, I think there might be a copy and paste issue in here. If it is from the deck, that's actually pretty good. We're gonna see why in a bit. So we're moving on to Splight Red, and here is why I really like this archetype. It is both dark and fire attributes. So dark has also been a primarily over supported, if you will, archetype or attribute, and we are also going to be getting fire attributes along with this new archetype. So that's pretty cool. So Splight Red, I'm going to skip again because same summoning procedures and same once per turn. So effect number 2, when your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you contribute 1 other level, rank, Link rating of 2 monster, negate the activation. Then if you tributed a rank or a Link 2 monster, you can destroy that monster. So that's pretty interesting. It negates monsters. Okay, that's really good. So I guess your whole thing is to use the other monsters, the dark monsters, the dark Splight monsters, to get your boss monsters out, and then use the fire to negate, to just establish control, which is pretty cool. It might be a good going second deck. Splight Carrot, again, a weird name, but we'll take it. Almost a waifu. Like, how do you make electricity? Weird, man. Alright, effect number 2, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card or effect, quick effect, you can contribute 1 other. So same basic thing. but for spells and traps, right? You can negate, and if you tribute a link or rank 2 monster, you also destroy the card. Pretty cool. It's pretty interesting that in both the dark and the fire attributes Splight Monsters, they kind of split off the searching in the dark ones and the negations in the fire ones between spells and traps and monsters. It's kind of an interesting little detail that they have there. Then we have Splight Elf. 2 monsters, including a level, rank, or link 2 monster. Still going with the number 2, that's the pattern. And then you can only use the second effect of this card's name per turn. Card's name per turn. Once per turn, I'm assuming. Cannot be used as a link material the turn it is link summoned. Your opponent cannot target monsters this card points to with card effects, which is pretty cool. I believe Forbidden Droplet targets, and I think all the Forbidden Chalice also targets, so that you won't get your monster's effect negated. Yeah, actually, let's go back here. They're all quick effect. The negate effects are all quick effects, so you can not tribute that card. Alright, I was going to say you can just tribute it and kind of avoid the targeting, but you got to tribute another monster, which is kind of not as good. Effect number 2. During the main phase quick effect, you can target 1 level 2 monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If your opponent controls a monster at activation, you can target 1 rank or link 2 monster instead. So it's just recycling. You can target 1 level 2 monster in your graveyard during the main phase quick effect, and it's not your main phase. That's really good. Again, I'm kind of iffy on these effects. There might be some copy and paste issues, but if the effect is how it's written, I do like it, because you can use it on your turn, you can use it on your opponent's turn. Yeah. From what I'm reading here, this effect is actually pretty good. This is going to be your utility, right? So the 𝗦𝗧𝗜𝗔𝗟 monster is your big dick boss monster, just swing over things with his giant member. I'm such an idiot. And this guy is going to be your utility. It's going to be how you swarm the field and how you maintain that pressure with the negates, right? Because you're going to be tributing cards, and you will need fodder, essentially. You will need tribute fodder for the effects to go off. Alright, so we're moving on to the spells here, and what I like so far is it's keeping up with the theme. Quick play spells has the little lightning indicator, the little lightning icon, and the Splight archetype is like a lightning archetype. I like that, Konami. I noticed it. I like that. Alright, so Splight starter. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. I guess it's pretty standard for this archetype. It seems like you can only activate all these effects once per turn, or at least, yeah, the ones that you can activate, because the other effect that they had was the special summon effect. Alright, so effect number 1, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of this turn after this card resolves. Pretty weird restriction. Oh, except level rank link 2 monsters. Also special summon 1 Splight monster from your deck, and if you do, you lose life points equal to its original attack. I like that wording, because it's the same wording as Peri Reyes map. And if you are familiar with Peri Reyes map and Ash Blossom, you know 2 things. Peri Reyes map is a really good card that allows you to search. And you also know that Ash Blossom can negate Peri Reyes map because it searches from your deck. You can get cards from your deck. However, with Peri Reyes map, the cost does not activate until you get the card that you need. So if for example, if you'd use Peri Reyes map to target a card in your deck and your opponent uses Ash Blossom on it, the cost did not activate because they negated the activation that is activated before the cost. And I think this is going to be the same thing here for the Splight starter, which is good. I mean, you're not going to be losing half your life points, and maybe this is the direction Konami's going for cards that make you pay half your life points, because for example, a Hero Lives is actually not that good of a card, because if your opponent negates it, I don't think it's once per turn, or maybe it is. No, I don't think it is once per turn, but if your opponent negates it, you're up, and it's like the first turn of the duel, you're already down half your life points. You're down 4,000 life points. That's a lot of life points, and it could be hard for you to come back. I mean, even some other cards that need life points as cost, like Predaplant, right? if you use another A Hero Lives, that you're already at 2,000 life points, you can't activate Predaplant Verte, right? I like this direction because it doesn't punish you that much, and since Ash Blossom is like kind of ubiquitous in a lot of decks, I hope they do this going forward so Ash Blossom isn't just an overpowered card in general. So moving on here, Splight Gamma Burst. It's you can only activate 1 and 2 effects of this card once per turn. Effect number 1: all level, rank, and link 2 monsters currently on the field gain 1400 attack and defense. Wow. Until the end of this turn. So the big boss monster, right? He has 1600 attack, and now he'll gain 1400 more attack. So that's at 3000, and I think he gains, his attack is doubled if he has a rank 2 monster. But I'm not sure the order of operations here, because I don't think I don't think you're gonna get a 6000 attack point monster. I think the attack's gonna double, and then you gain the attack, right? So it would be he would be at 3200 plus 1400, not at what is it? Not at 3000 and then double. I don't think that's the order of operation here. Effect number 2: during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 2, rank 2, link 2, hard to read monster you control. It gains 14 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So it's the same effect. But it has a I'm thinking here because that's it's the same effect unless I'm not reading it correctly. It's just that one is a graveyard effect, which is pretty cool. I mean, it allows you to recycle. Oh, you know what? There is a difference. The first effect is 1400 attack and defense, and the second effect is just attack. So there is a slight difference, but I like it. It's a battle effect in graveyard, which is pretty scary. Splight Smashers. You can only activate 1 card of this card's name per turn. Effect number 1: banish 1 Springens, Therians, or Splight card from your hand or graveyard to activate one of these effects. So I guess they are working with Therians and Springens. From what I remember, I do like the Springen artwork, so I mean, hopefully you can kind of play these independently, because I don't like mixing archetypes that much, to be completely honest. But okay, so effect: you can activate one of these effects. Special summon 1 Springens monster from your deck, special summon 1 Therians monster from your graveyard, or banish a level, rank, link 2 monster you control and 1 card your opponent controls. Oh, that's actually pretty good. But you gotta banish 2 monsters, because you gotta banish a Springens, and then you gotta banish a Splight. If you're just using Splites, right, you gotta banish a Splight, and then you gotta banish a level, rank, or a link 2 monster, which is probably gonna be a Splight. So it's gonna be -2 on your part, and then you're gonna get rid of one of your opponent's monsters, and then you have to use this card. So technically, isn't it a -3 for a getting rid of 1 card? It does remove from play, but I don't think that's good. If it were removed from play face down, that would be a lot better. Overall, though, I really do like this archetype. I do want to bring up something that the community did kind of bring up here. So what I've seen from the community is that Hero Kid is going to be really good in this deck, and I tend to agree. It is a level 2, and when it gets special summoned by any effect, you can swarm the field with 2 other copies of Hero Kid, which is really, really good. I'm not gonna lie. With just 1 special summon of a Hero Kid, you will have 3 monsters as fodder for the price of 1, right? And since the Splight deck uses ranks and links, you don't necessarily have to keep this weak-ass monster, right? You can you can use it as an Xyz material or as a link summoning material. So I see where the community is coming from. However, if how are you going to summon it, right? The best way I do see is using Gigantic Splight, and that's only if the second effect is correct, because it allows you to summon a level 2 monster from your deck. So off the hop, you don't have to search this. You don't have to have it in your hand. You don't have to have any other card. As long as you summon Gigantic Splight on your turn, somehow you will get Hero Kid for free. I think, for free. Well, you remove a material. You use a material, you get this guy on the field, and then you get 2 other monsters for free. I do like Splight. I hope they keep making more of this archetype. A. B. I really hope that they can work by themselves and they don't need Therians or any other archetype, right? But I think that's going to be the video. Make sure you guys leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. See you.